Most men are unaware that something potentially harmful happens every night after they turn 60. As they sleep, their bodies enter a fasting phase, and without the proper support, they begin breaking down not only muscle, but also the delicate blood vessels responsible for intimacy, vitality, and stamina. You might wake up feeling okay, but deep inside, your circulation could be deteriorating. And as that fades, so does your sense of connection, your self-assurance, and what many quietly fear, your manhood. The alarming part? It happens so subtly that by the time the warning signs appear, the damage is often well underway. I'm Dr. Laura, and for more than 3 decades, I've worked with older men to help them reclaim what age and neglect have quietly eroded. I've seen the pain in a man's face when he talks about losing that spark with his partner, and the relief when he finally uncovers a truth no one had ever told him. Because the core problem isn't just aging, it's what's missing in your routine before bed that speeds up this decline. In just a few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the one bedtime habit that silently restricts blood flow, the subtle clues your circulation may already be slipping even if you feel fine, and one simple spoonful of natural support that can start reversing it all. No prescriptions, no gimmicks, just real recovery rooted in how your body naturally heals. And if you stay until the end, I'll share a full evening routine that has helped hundreds of men, over 60 men, like Edward and Walter, rediscover their strength, rebuild confidence, and restore closeness with their partner in under a week. Before we get started, if keeping your circulation strong and preserving intimacy matters to you, go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future health insights made for men in your stage of life. And if this message resonates, leave a 1 in the comments or a 0 if it doesn't, and let me know how I can better support your journey back to lasting energy and connection. Now that you understand what's quietly working against you each night, let's begin with the root of it all, how blood flow and intimacy start to shift after your 60s. Because until you truly grasp what's happening inside, you can't take back control. For years, I've listened to men in their late 60s and 70s strong, thoughtful men finally voice the question they've been too embarrassed to ask. Why doesn't it work like it used to? It doesn't happen overnight. It begins with slower reactions, diminished sensitivity, or a few missed morning erections. At first, they chalk it up to stress or a rough night. But with time, it becomes obvious something fundamental has changed. And the root of it? A quiet, steady shift in blood flow. Once you pass 60, your blood vessels start to age in ways that quietly but powerfully impact your vitality. The arteries that once pumped blood effortlessly throughout your body, including to the most personal areas, begin to lose their flexibility. The inner walls, known as the endothelium, weaken, and your body's ability to produce nitric oxide, the gas that opens blood vessels and boosts circulation, drops dramatically. When that happens, it doesn't matter how strong your desire is if blood can't flow to where it's needed. Your body simply won't respond. You might still feel like the same man mentally, but your physical responses don't keep pace like they once did. This shift goes far beyond intimacy. It can affect your self-esteem, your relationship, and even how you see yourself. And yet, most men chalk it up to just getting older, never realizing that this decline is something that can be addressed naturally and effectively. Here's what makes it so dangerous. Poor circulation doesn't always show itself in obvious ways. In most cases, it begins quietly. There are early indicators, but they're often easy to miss or dismiss. You could be dealing with several of them right now without realizing they point to a deeper issue. And by the time those signs are clear, the problem has often been building for months, even years. That's why I want to help you recognize what's going on before it progresses. Because once you catch it early, there's still time to reverse the trend. Let's look at some of the early clues that your blood flow might already be slipping long before anything stops working completely. If there's one truth I've learned after working with men in their 60s and 70s for decades, it's this: the body gives you quiet warnings long before it cries out. Most men I see with circulation issues didn't get there all of a sudden. The signs were present, they just didn't know what to pay attention to. I remember meeting Harold, a 68-year-old retired contractor. He wasn't there for relationship concerns. He came in because he felt constantly tired. His legs would cramp during the night, and he mentioned that his mornings didn't feel quite the same anymore. He told me, "Doc, I feel like the fire's still burning inside, but the engine won't start." That phrase stayed with me. What Harold didn't realize, and what many men overlook, is that those small, seemingly unrelated symptoms were signals. Cold feet in bed, fewer or weaker morning erections, lingering fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and even needing more stimulation to get aroused. These are all signs of poor circulation, especially in the pelvic area. You might still feel active and mobile walking, doing chores, but deep down, your vascular system may be slowing down. And because many men are used to powering through discomfort and avoiding discussions about personal concerns, these signals often go unnoticed until they're much harder to reverse. While your body's ability to repair blood vessels does decline with age, it doesn't disappear completely. That's why early detection is so important. When you start noticing even small changes, it usually means your vascular system has been under pressure for quite some time, possibly months, even years. The longer you overlook the signs, the tougher the recovery. But here's the silver lining. Your body is remarkably responsive when you give it the right kind of support, especially at night, when healing and regeneration are naturally supposed to take place. The key is identifying what's blocking that process from happening. And there's one mistake I've seen again and again, something older men do every single night without realizing it's undermining their circulation while they sleep. It's not about what happens during the day. The real problem starts just before bedtime. And once you address it, the transformation can be surprisingly quick and deeply rewarding. Let me show you exactly what I mean. The most common bedtime habit that quietly weakens your circulation. One of the most difficult parts of my role is talking to men who are doing everything right during the day. They stay active, eat decently, take their prescriptions, and yet they still find their energy dipping and their intimacy fading. They're putting in the effort, they're committed, but something still feels off. What most of them don't realize is that the critical mistake is happening not in their routine, but in what they're skipping before sleep. As we grow older, the body becomes less resilient. It doesn't recover as effortlessly. That's why, after 60, your nighttime hours matter more than ever, especially when it comes to circulation and blood vessel health. While you rest, your body goes into repair mode, restoring tissues, balancing hormones, rebuilding the walls of your arteries. But this repair process demands fuel, and for many older men, that fuel just isn't there. The single biggest misstep? Going to bed without providing your body with the right nourishment. Whether it's from eating dinner too early, skipping vital nutrients, or avoiding nighttime snacks out of fear, they'll interfere with sleep. The result is the same. Your body lacks the tools it needs to repair itself overnight. When that happens, it doesn't build up, it breaks down. Your body starts pulling from muscle, even from the lining of your blood vessels, just to maintain basic functions. The very systems you depend on for healthy circulation, balanced hormones, and vascular repair are weakened while you sleep. You wake up groggy, stiff, maybe even detached, never realizing it's the bedtime habits working against you. The good news? I've seen men turn this around, and not with expensive treatments or extreme diets. Sometimes all it takes is changing what you give your body before your head hits the pillow. It all begins with one small, intentional step, something that nourishes your blood vessels instead of depleting them. There's a particular teaspoon of natural ingredients I suggest to nearly every older man I work with, because it delivers results, and often quite quickly. This straightforward bedtime solution has helped men wake up feeling refreshed, reconnect emotionally and physically with their partner, and see a real improvement in circulation, sometimes within days. It doesn't require much, just a teaspoon and the right combination of ingredients. Let me walk you through what's in that single spoon. I call it the nighttime fix, a simple way to support your circulation while you sleep. Throughout my career, I've searched for complex medical solutions to men's health concerns, test panels, imaging, prescriptions. But surprisingly, some of the most effective tools don't come from a pharmacy, they come from your pantry. And this one is so straightforward, most men don't think twice about it. There's a natural blend you can take before bed, just a spoonful that delivers exactly what your body needs to support blood flow overnight. I've seen it work for men who hadn't felt truly themselves in years. It's not magic, it's simply giving your body what it's been lacking. So, the centerpiece of this blend is beetroot powder, rich in dietary nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide, the key molecule that relaxes and opens your arteries. When those blood vessels relax, circulation improves, particularly in the areas where it matters most for male vitality. But that's just part of the story. When beetroot is combined with a teaspoon of raw honey and a cup of warm water, it becomes a potent mix. Honey plays a role in balancing blood sugar and supporting hormone regulation overnight, while the warm water helps your body absorb the nutrients and calms digestion. Together, they create a natural rhythm of recovery, giving your blood vessels the tools they need right when your body is working to heal. It's remarkable how something as small as a single teaspoon can lead to such noticeable change. I've heard from men who started waking up with stronger circulation, fewer leg cramps, and even the return of morning arousal, sometimes in less than a week. But the real shift goes deeper than the physical. When a man begins to feel that internal spark again, everything changes. He carries himself differently. He speaks with renewed confidence, and he reconnects with his partner in ways that feel genuine, not forced. If you want to take this bedtime practice even further, there are 3 additional natural boosters I recommend. Think of them as backup support nutrients that work alongside your evening spoonful to relax blood vessels, settle your mind, and promote deeper, more restorative sleep. These are the same ones I've suggested to many of my older patients, and they consistently make a real difference. Let's look at those 3 natural enhancements and why they can make your nighttime routine even more powerful. Because for men looking to restore their vitality and connection after 60, that 1 spoonful is just the beginning. But sometimes your body needs just a bit more extra support to truly flourish. I've had men say to me, "Doc, that spoonful helped, but is there anything else I can do to feel even better?" And the answer is absolutely yes. There are 3 natural boosters I regularly recommend to men who want to take their results even further, and they complement your nighttime mix perfectly. First up is magnesium. This often overlooked mineral plays a key role in relaxing blood vessels, calming the nervous system, and enhancing sleep. A large number of older men are low in magnesium without even realizing it. Adding a small amount before bed not only supports circulation, but can also help prevent those nighttime leg cramps and middle-of-the-night wake-ups that steal your deep rest. Next is l-arginine, an amino acid that your body uses to produce nitric oxide, the same essential compound that beetroot helps release. When combined with dietary nitrates, l-arginine can speed up the effects. I've seen men regain energy, feel warmth return to their hands and feet, and notice more responsiveness often in just a few days. And then there's ashwagandha, a traditional calming herb used for generations to reduce stress, balance hormones, and support sleep. Nighttime isn't just for rest, it's for hormonal rebalancing and restoration. A warm cup of ashwagandha tea can lower cortisol, support healthy testosterone levels, and set the stage for your body to heal while you sleep. But it doesn't stop there. The emotional benefits are just as impactful. Less anxiety, better presence with your partner, and a deeper sense of calm. What I appreciate most about these 3 additions is that they're natural, widely available, and gentle on your system. They don't interfere, they cooperate with your body's rhythms. And when used consistently with that evening spoonful, they can help you feel like you're finally back in the driver's seat when it comes to your health. Now that you know what to give your body, let's bring it all together. Because it's not just about ingredients, it's about creating a habit. Here's how to build a simple and powerful evening routine that works. Your complete nighttime plan. At this point, you know the truth. Circulation doesn't vanish overnight. It fades slowly, quietly, and most men don't even realize it's happening until something important feels lost. But you also know that, with steady effort, you can get it back. And when it comes to improving blood flow, restoring strength, and rekindling connection after 60, your bedtime habits can make all the difference. So here's the routine I've shared with countless men. Men like Gerald, like Frank, who weren't interested in gimmicks or pills, just real results. About 30 to 60 minutes before bed, mix 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder with a teaspoon of raw honey into a glass of warm water. Stir gently. Take a slow breath. Drink it with intention. This is fuel for your recovery. Think of this as nourishment for your body's overnight repair engine. It's more than just a drink. It's a signal that you're giving your body the support it needs to renew itself while you sleep. This is also the ideal moment to take your magnesium and l-arginine if you choose. You don't have to take everything at once, but when used consistently, these nutrients work in sync with your evening mix, helping relax your blood vessels, ease your mind, and enhance your body's recovery process during the night. If you enjoy a warm drink before bed, brew yourself a small cup of ashwagandha tea. Sip it slowly. Let your body begin to wind down. Dim the lights, turn off your screens, and give yourself the chance to drift into sleep naturally. You don't need to do this perfectly. What matters most is building a gentle rhythm. Something simple that tells your body, it's time to restore. Stick with this for 7 nights and watch what changes. You might feel warmth returning to your hands and feet. You may wake up feeling more alert, more energized. You might even feel something you haven't in quite a while, like yourself again. The truth is, transformation doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to be steady. And when you give your body this kind of consistent care, it begins to remember its strength, its energy, and its resilience. Now that you've got the full picture, let's take a step back and reflect, because before you move on, I want you to truly understand what these small changes can do. Restore blood flow, protect your connection, and rebuild your confidence starting tonight. If you've made it here, thank you. Not just for listening, but for taking a stand for your own well-being. Because the reality is, many men over 60 quietly accept the decline. They believe less intimacy, slower circulation, and low energy are just the price of aging. But not you. You chose to look deeper, and now you know the truth. You've learned that changes in blood flow and intimacy after 60 aren't signs of failure. They're signs your body needs more care than it used to. You've seen the early warning signs for what they are, and you now understand the quiet mistake that most men make before bed. Going to sleep without fueling the very systems that keep them energized, responsive, and connected. But now, you've also discovered the solution. A simple nightly ritual, just 1 spoonful that promotes nitric oxide, supports healthy blood vessels, and revives the flow that powers your vitality. And alongside it, 3 natural reinforcements: magnesium, l-arginine, and ashwagandha, gentle allies that restore calm, build strength, and support true recovery. And now, you're holding the full roadmap, a nightly routine that's simple, stress-free, and easy to follow. One that honors where you are in life, without asking you to settle for less. Because you're not done yet. Your connection, your intimacy, your inner strength, as a man, they still matter. They're still within reach. And yes, you can bring them back. I've seen it firsthand. Men who once felt defeated find themselves again that moment when they wake up with energy, when they stop withdrawing from their partners, when they begin to feel truly present and alive in their own skin once more. It's not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming what never should have slipped away in the first place. Start tonight. Just 1 act, 1 spoonful, 1 quiet but powerful choice to stand with the man you are and have always been.